You know if you can see and hear me okay. Thank you so much yet again for your flexibility with for your understanding and patience with my flexible start time. And this is going to be a group healing. This is the last group healing I'm doing of 2025, so that's a little bit extra exciting for that reason. This is the second in the set of 2 healings called the December Twin Set 2025. So it's the final healing of the twin set. And the theme that we've been doing all this month and we will do today is confidence, intuition, and inner peace. So, but we'll be doing so many fundamentals and so many really interesting things that will help a lot more than just that theme, but we will also specifically focus on that theme of confidence, intuition, and inner peace. Thank you for all my confirmations about the sound and the camera, etc. Much appreciated. Many of you know that recently I had some sound issues, and I did an awful lot of testing today on that, to put it lightly. So I think I have spared you all the work of figuring things out with me. I think it's all resolved. Of course, time will tell. All right, so what are we doing today? Lots of interesting things planned. Okay, so in addition to the 5 essentials, which we'll do towards the start of the healing, which is grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, and back of head stuff, repairing all that. That's the 5 essentials. So of course we will do that at the start of the healing, basically. But then there are other things we'll do. Which can be loosely grouped into 4 different categories. And the first one I'm going to explain is mind stuff. I will try to go through it in a more concise and time-efficient manner, which many of you know is not my strong suit. But I am trying. Anyway, so the mind. So we do deep thought technique a lot, which is a way of clearing blocked energy, dumped energy, stuff that's not used, stuff that's blocking your mind, your conscious and your subconscious mind, and the flowy connection of the two, your conscious with your subconscious mind. But we will do that again, deep thought technique and we'll probably do it as gardens. Yeah. I do kind of like that. So I guess we're doing mind garden more than, I mean, it's deep thought really in a pretty fashion. But it's sort of, we should, I guess, more accurately call it mind garden work. But it's basically you imagine your mind as a garden and blah, blah, blah. You lift out the junk, right? So we'll do that to help all 3 aspects of the theme: confidence, intuition, and inner peace. But then we'll do more with the mind. We'll do a blue earth energy soak for sure. That's nice and simple. And so I'll try to make it its own little chapter, just as simple, earth energy soak of blue earth energy for your mind, conscious and subconscious mind, because it's just such a nice feeling. Like the opposite of, all the drama in the world is to do a blue earth energy soak for your mind. It's just good stuff. So, we'll do that. And we will, I talked about how there's a division between your conscious and your subconscious mind, and you want it to be nice and flowy so that what should come from your subconscious into your conscious does. You don't want to be aware of everything in your subconscious, but there's some stuff that you can handle, and it would be very timely for you to know it consciously, So we're gonna heal that barrier, that the flowy wall between the two, conscious and subconscious mind, extra today. And in particular, I want to pick out like energy blocks within that barrier causing distortion, or hard objects, devices, something that's in your mind causing a distortion, so that maybe you you have ideas that hopefully later you realize aren't what you need to do, but for a while it seems very legit, so it'd be nice to kind of streamline that intuition, by clearing distortion blocks. But that's sort of it for the mind stuff that I wanted to describe that we're doing today. And then there's a repeat that we're doing. So the heart and the pericardium meridians, those are two energy pathways in the body. The heart one starts in the armpit and ends in the pinky. So it's like both arms, from the armpit to the inner elbow to the pinky, and that's the heart meridian. And then the pericardium meridian is a somewhat similar route, actually, but it starts like above the nipple area, not like on it or anything, but above that, and it does a little part where it's in front of the shoulder, but then also it goes through the inner elbow and it ends in the middle finger, which is kind of nice for me to remember that, because it's like the pericardium meridian, it protects the heart meridian. And so you could, if you want, as a memory device, you could be like, okay, well, sometimes when people say, F you to other people, which kids you shouldn't do, but whatever. But if someone says F you, they're trying to be defensive. They're trying to defend. They're trying to protect themselves, right? And so the pericardium meridian ends in the middle finger, So it goes from here down and ends in the middle finger. So that's the pericardium meridian. So anyway, all these regular meridians have their own Wei Qi aura, right? Their own aura, one aura devoted to that meridian. Just it's flowy gold light to help buffer and protect and nourish that meridian. And that's not traditional Chinese medicine, that part, that each one has its own Wei Qi aura. That is something the angels showed me. Although Wei Qi, that concept, is traditional Chinese medicine, that it's strong boundaries energy to protect you from external forces. So anyway, clearing crappy gifts was sort of my like dark humor sort of take on the holidays. And they can be very commercial and stuff, and so you can get these gifts, and so sometimes people give you gifts that you don't actually want, potentially. So it's sort of a fun way to think about how sometimes people dump energy into the heart meridian and pericardium meridian Wei Qi auras. That is, sometimes they intend to be malevolent or sort of resentful, and sometimes they don't actually, and it's something ostensibly positive that they dumped in there, but it's their energy, so it has a similar effect as if they tried to mess with you. It's because it's just their stuff stuck in those two auras that are supposed to protect those two meridians. And those two meridians, they're really important for like the mind, emotions. Even like there are points along those two meridians that help your tendons, that help your respiratory system a lot, like to decongest it and stuff. And so those two meridians really help a lot. So clearing, crappy gifts that people have dumped in your space over the years or over lifetimes, from specifically those two Wei Qi auras for those two meridians has a really nice effect. It can help sleep too. Those two meridians along in the long list of things that they can do for you is they can help your sleep. They can help your mood. So likewise, the flip side of that is we already did work on that, like in the first healing in this set, and also in the last healing of the triplet set earlier this month, like at this point, maybe like 2 weeks ago. So maybe you're more aware of your crappiness, like more self-conscious about it. Like, oh, I'm particularly crabby right now. I'm particularly in a bad mood right now, you know, because you're more present there. But those auras can still get whacked by somebody, or they can, you know, they're not perfectly cleaned out yet, you know, it takes a lot of time. So, so just a heads up that if you want to alter your mood, double check these two meridians. If you want to help your sleep, double check these two meridians and the Wei Qi auras that go with them. Because if you're particularly crabby or you have particularly big sleep issues, those auras could be torn up. And so, or just blocked with a lot of crappy gifts. So anyway, long story short, we're going to do it again today. I don't think we need to, I looked at it, but I don't think we need to do it any differently than we've been doing, except maybe just, you know, hurry up a little bit and not take too long explaining. But it just seemed like people were really not used to clearing there. And so sometimes you clear once and then people are kind of on a roll and they just clear the rest on their own, you know, or well, keep continuing to clear on their own. But I think with this, it's just so like long overdue for most people that it hasn't really yet kicked off a big inspired, you know, self-clearing, continuous self-clearing with the angels for a lot of people. So I think if we do it one more time together, help people kind of get their facility with it, get some grace with it, you know, some like skill level with it, then maybe people are more likely to just, you know, continue on their own with their angels in their sleep with it. Okay, cool. So that's that. So it's basically a repeat. I don't think we'll do it any differently than we did 3 days ago, except, you know, I'll actually have sound, good quality sound for this video, and maybe a little less chattiness. All right. So another thing I want us to do today, I'll just sort of put them all in one section, is they're sort of non-literal things. Like, you know, if we repair the back of the fifth chakra, that's a literal thing. You know, fifth chakra is right here, the back of it's right there. That's like a literal exact thing we're doing. But this kind of stuff, banana peel blocks, drama door blocks, you know, chaos boundary wall, which I'll also put in this section. Those are a bit like the mind garden, where you imagine something and it represents. Well, what I mean by banana peel blocks, I'm sorry, sorry to like be all over the place with this. Banana peel blocks, what I mean is it's like, you know how that expression, like you slip on a banana peel, like in the cartoon, someone slips on a banana peel. So there are energy blocks that it's like a little bit of a mess up in your brain. So it can make you start repressing and avoiding rather than clearing. Like in life, you know, you might have a challenging day or something, but if you're, or like a challenging project you're working on, or you're trying to motivate yourself to study, you know, and it's like there's so much resistance that it's a challenging moment for you, you know, to get through it and actually start studying. And there can be energy blocks that are like banana peels, and it just, they're there, and it'll trigger when you're trying to be disciplined or when you're trying to get to bed on time, you know, whatever. And it'll trigger, and then bam, it's like you get on the wrong path. You start time wasting, you start, you know, doing whatever, you become really avoidant, and so you get more and more triggered because you're not clearing stuff, right? Or conversely, you can just be especially present, and when the challenge comes, you just like stay focused and you keep clearing whatever's triggered, like subconsciously probably, but you keep clearing whatever's triggered, you keep problem solving, you keep, you know, and so you're able to have the discipline and do what you need to do, right? So we want to proactively kind of imagine what are those blocks that cause you to like take the wrong road in the crossroads, like not like horribly wrong, but you know, less optimal. So I mean, we can call those a whole bunch of things, but I'm going to call them banana peel blocks. That once that one block gets triggered, or those several blocks get triggered, it's like, forget discipline. It's not going to happen, you know? So we want to clear those blocks so that you have a better shot at, a better chance at, you know, staying present and continuing to clear and clear and clear and clear subconsciously, so you could stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. Drama door blocks is a very similar thing, but it's maybe not like the one turning point moment. It's just various parts of your day where it's like, if those blocks get triggered, you just, you know, it's so much harder for you to be present. So it's like a proactive STEBs kind of a thing, where we're just finding those blocks that are just like your Achilles heel kind of thing, proactively, so that hopefully you're more robust, I guess is a common expression. You know, you're just better under pressure. So that's that. And chaos boundary wall is more of what I was saying initially, where it's like, it's a visual metaphor. So chaos boundary wall is, I'm going to probably put it, you know, group it in that same category as these blocks, but chaos boundary wall is just a visual representation of everything that goes into you having strong boundaries. So having your Wei Qi auras being repaired, having your creative rings being repaired, having your good karma windows being repaired, you know, having good grounding. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. But you could just imagine all your boundary aspects as a flowing gold wall, and flowing for sure. It's got to be flowing. And then you see what's in it. You know, maybe there's like big gashes in it or something, and so you repair those. And, you know, maybe there's some spinning energy, which is some invasive beings, so you have your angels recycle those. So you have this nice, strong, flowing gold, you know, wall representing your boundaries. And I call it chaos boundary wall just because it's, you know, the outside world can have a lot of chaos that can, if you don't have good boundaries, it'll come right in, and then you're overwhelmed all the time, you know? So it's a chaos boundary wall. That's just the name of the exercise. But it's just a simplified way to work boundaries and, yeah, repair a lot at once. So we'll do that. And 7th to 8th connection, we do that probably every month and a half. I mean, not like I time it and put it on a calendar or something. I'm just saying that's probably how often we end up doing it. It's just your connection from your 7th chakra in the top of your head to your 8th chakra, which is above your auras. Your 8th chakra is part of your eternal self. you know, it has wisdom that you've gotten from a lot of past lives and eternal healing energy. And there's a gold connection between your 8th chakra and your 7th chakra. And so hopefully continually, you know, you're sending down to your 7th chakra wisdom and healing energy that is calming, and it helps you kind of see the big picture. And I think especially at this time of year, if people are at all open to it, people tend to want more of a big picture wisdom kind of vibe, you know, to think of like, you know, what they went through in the last year, and maybe if there are any lessons that they still haven't realized from those experiences, and then, you know, like how they want to tweak their habits and behaviors and lifestyle for the coming year. So I think having a really good and non-distorted 8th chakra energy coming down can help with that, you know, big picture wisdom stuff that people tend to especially crave, I think, at this time of year. So it's easy to do, to repair and unblock that. So we'll definitely do that. But that's all. So I'm going to take a look at the chat comments. So chat comments, let's see. Sound is good, camera is good. Thank you so much. Hello from Ottawa, Canada. Sound and camera good. Hello to you in Ottawa, Canada. I can see and hear you. Hello to you. Hi, I can see and hear you. Hi, Janet. Hello to you. Happy almost New Year, Janet. Thank you. Thank you for the healing and teaching. What a healing to check the last boxes on 2025. There you go. Yeah, why not? Good time for healing, right? I could have done this set like a week earlier, but I just thought, you know, this is like more close to many holidays that people tend to celebrate. Not, of course, everyone celebrates their own different holidays, so, you know, but I thought this would help having it right now. So hopefully it does. So now I will do 3 minutes of quiet. But before I do that, I will explain what 3 minutes of quiet is all about. Oh, wait, let me explain. Yeah. Okay. So for newbies that don't know, you are welcome to watch this live stream, and you're welcome to purchase healings. Just not today's healing. Today's set of 2 healings, you know, sold before on my website. And so the people that I'm healing today are 135 people in 11 different countries. And they purchased in advance this set so that I could prepare my energy and thank them properly and, you know, be ready to heal them. But anyone can purchase my sets of healings, and they're for sale on my website, which is right there, jwhealing.com. JW because Janet Wright is my name, and so JW are my initials. And there's that. Unfortunately, I guess JW healing is sometimes used as a Jehovah's Witness thing, which I am most definitely not a part of the Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm not in any religion at all. But anyway, so yeah, JW is just my name, Janet Wright. But as I heal, except for the first minute or two, I will say out loud what I'm doing as I do it. So even if you're new to my work and even if you're new to energy healing, but you're kind of courageous, you could wing it and follow along and heal yourself as you listen. I consider it an all levels healing walkthrough. So you could, even advanced people could find it satisfying to heal themselves during this live stream, or newbies as well. Of the 135 people I'm healing in 11 different countries, there is 105 in the US, 6 in United Arab Emirates, 5 in Canada, 5 in the UK, 5 in Qatar, 3 in Ukraine, 2 in Norway, 1 in Mexico, 1 in Germany, 1 in Japan, and 1 in South Korea. So hello, hello, hello to all the people that I will be healing in this live stream. And hello, hello, hello to everyone that is watching live. Yeah. Okie doke. So now finally 3 minutes of quiet, during which time I will finish my prep and start the healing in silence. And then, of course, as I said, I will talk as I work. Okay, thanks for waiting. So, you have hand chakras. One chakra, a chakra is an energy center. They generate energy. All your chakras generate energy. So you have a big hand chakra in the palm of each hand called your hand chakra, and then you have a fingertip chakra, one in each fingertip. And you set those particular chakras to a metallic gold color. I don't know where my glitter is. Oops. Anyway, you know the color of metallic gold. I guess that little wall thing right there is kind of metallic gold right there. Oh, this here. This is metallic gold too, this yoga dog. So there you go. There's an image of metallic gold for you. So you can set your hand and fingertip chakras to a metallic gold color just with your intention or your thought. You don't have to be able to see energy to do it. And so that what that does is then as they naturally spin and generate energy, they're generating energy at that vibration, which is metallic gold, which is a really nice vibration for repairing, unblocking, letting go, all that good stuff. So just imagine your everything out in front of you, all your auras, which are all around you. You have 17 of them, but don't let that freak you out. Just think of it as your auras if you want. And then, so your auras go even beneath your feet. And then you have 2 groundings, right? So recreate your groundings, connect them all, recreate them, make them brand new, and make them go all the way down to the core of the earth. Make them both wide all the way down to the core of the earth, as wide as all your auras. So, and then you make a copy out in front of you of your everything. All your 17 auras and your physical body and your astral body are inside there. Give those a little healing. And both your groundings. And make your groundings come up high as your 3rd chakra. So your 3rd chakra is below your sternum. Your sternum is that bone that goes right there. So just below that, that's where your 3rd chakra is. So bring up both your groundings that high. And as far as color of your groundings, I would suggest red or orange or yellow. Make both your groundings the same color. So that kind of helps your spirit and your body be on the same page to help you be as present as possible while you're awake. So then just comb through your groundings, plural. There's one for your physical body energy system, one for your astral body energy system, which is you as a spirit. And comb through the back of your auras. You want to use so much gold light wherever you're working that it's like bug spray. You just, like, it just kicks things out and starts the repair process. Everywhere. So you're combing through all your auras. You're definitely combing through your groundings. And you want to unblock your groundings. Sometimes, things get so complicated, it's really easy for grounding to block up. So just imagine the blocks in your grounding. They can look like black rocks. And just melt them away with cold light. So even if you can't see the blocks in your grounding, you could, with your intention and your hands, just sweep them together into one pile and then use so much cold light that they melt away. Deep breath. Again, sweep together the energy blocks that are in your grounding that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and use so much cold light, they melt away. And the more you're in your hands, the better, because then eventually you can even feel, like it sort of feels warm and tingly when you heal your hand one with the other, if you're present enough to feel it. But don't worry if you don't yet feel anything on a physical level. It just probably means you're not present enough to feel it yet. But the more you heal yourself, eventually, more of your abilities open up and you can feel energy better. In a good way. So, but in order to be more present in your hands, if you unblock your shoulders and your arms, that can help with that. And it also helps with just general manifesting, because the energy flow down your shoulders and your arms helps you manifest. So just, you have make a copy out in front of you of your neck, shoulders, and arms. And just use gold light within your neck, shoulders, and arms to unblock the energy flow down your shoulders and arms. And of course, anytime we work a part of the body, you want to unblock the auras around it, your auras around it. You don't want the auras to have any rips. You don't want them to have big, heavy blocks in them. So just use gold light and melt all that away. Repair and unblock the auras around your neck, shoulders, and arms. And we'll do more with that later in the healing, the aura repair section. Again, unblock your neck, unblock your shoulders, and your arms. There are very important energy meridians in your shoulders and your arms. So right now we're not doing each one. We're just sort of overall unblocking the flow in your shoulders and your arms with gold light. All right. Good job. Good job. Woohoo. Good job. All righty. So grounding, we just did grounding, etc. So that's the first of the 5 essentials. So then we'll do aura repair. So basically, in a nutshell, your auras protect you. But to do that, they need to be whole and flowing. The more whole and flowing they are, the better, and the harder it is to get damage in the future. So important stuff. So since you have so many auras, we all have so many auras, it's very possible at any given time that you do have some rips in some of your auras. So we could repair them all at once, and that's pretty efficient. So let's do that. So you imagine one rip, and you say, you make it out in front of you, this image of a rip, and you say, okay, this represents all the rips that I currently have in all my 17 auras. And then you want to clean it out and repair it. So as you're repairing this composite copy rip that represents all those rips, you're repairing all those rips. So clean it out with sticky gold wax. So sticky gold wax is gold light from your hands that sticks to whatever's not you and forms a big lump, so you can lift it out all at once and give it to your angels. Okay, so you have your composite copy rip, sticky gold wax, make it all, lift it all out as a lump. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, have the wax stick and form as a big lump everything that's not you, and just lift all that out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk that's not you. Angels, here you go. So then now you can get as deep as possible with the gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive energies, invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? So then the gold light starts the repair process, and the rip starts to grow back. Auras start to grow back, and then there's no more rips. So that probably repaired most of your rips, but you may have 1 or 2 that are a little stubborn. So we'll just do it one more time just for the leftover rips. So make a copy of a rip and just say, okay, well, this represents my leftover rips. And then do the same process. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk that's not you. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out everything that's not you. Angels, here you go. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? Get the gold light nice and deep in there. Let the repair happens. Whew. All right, good job. So now you may have just some leftover hardness either on the outer surface of your auras or a couple layers, certain patches of hardness. And so all the hardness weakens your aura. So we don't want any hardness left over. So just make piles out in front of you, copies of all the hardness in any of your auras, and just use gold light and melt it away. So again, make copies out in front of you of all the aura hardness that you have left over from having damage, and just melt all the hardness away. All right, good job, good job. Really quickly, we will also repair gold mesh spheres of your Wei Qi auras. So, not to spend too much time explaining, but those 15 Wei Qi auras, those are big gold flowy force fields. And how they are filled with gold energy is that they have gold mesh spheres within them, 3 in each Wei Qi aura, that continually generate gold light. If they're cleaned off and continuous with no big gaps in them. So you just imagine all your auras, and then you have 15 innermost, 15 middle, and 15 outermost gold mesh spheres. You just, with your intention and gold light, just have the gold light repair any gaps in these gold generating gold mesh spheres. Just repair the gaps so that you're generating as much gold light as you can in these auras. All right, good enough. Oh, and then double check, recreate your gold buffer zones. So that's for the other 2 auras, the astral and physical body aura. You can make, if you want, you can make big gold flowy force fields that you put on the outer surface of your astral body aura and your physical body aura. So you can remake those. I do have a video on that if you want to learn more. You look up Janet Wright gold buffer zones, you'll find it. So creative rings are a funny thing, they're very useful when they're working, and if they get damaged, though, it doesn't feel good at all. Which I guess is true for all this stuff, but yeah, creative rings are up here, 1, 2, 3, and they come and go with you as a spirit, with your astral body. So they're right above here, 1, 2, 3. And so you can make a copy out in front of you of your 3 gold creative rings and use so much gold light that you're repairing them, because you have cracks and missing chunks. You're repairing them and you're melting cords going into them. If you have cords going into them, it can irritate the creative rings. I mean, in general, that's true anywhere in your space. If you have energy that's not yours coming in, it can be an irritant. With the exception of, like if 2 people are consensually having their special private time, and then there are certain locations where, it's very nice on a short-term basis to swap energy. But other than that, it's usually not. It's usually an irritant in your space, especially creative rings. There's no like special sexy time equivalent for creative rings. But anyways, so this is what your flaps look like when they're irritated. Like if someone's courting your creative rings, or a bunch of people are courting them, this is like a top-down view of when the flaps are open and irritated. When they're not irritated, they fall shut. So it's like a nice, smooth, round surface. Same thing with chakras. Same thing. Your chakras have flaps. So if you have a bunch of cords from people irritating the chakra, sending energy and that's not yours, then you have flaps that stick out. If there are no flaps, if there are no cords and you repair it all, it's nice. Then it's nice, a nice smooth round opening with all the flaps shut. So then your energy comes and goes, but it's harder for people to cord. So same thing here. If you get rid of all the cords and the beings and you repair it nicely, then these flaps relax and fall shut. So then your energy can go through and they can generate gold light and do their job. But, you know, they're not irritated. So it's harder for people to cord. So that was just explaining flaps. So now let's actually do what we said we're going to do. Okay. All right. So copies of your 3 creative rings out in front of you. Use gold light. Melt cords from people going into your creative rings. For invasive beings, it's easier just to get them recycled because invasive beings are invasive by nature. So melting the cords, you could spend forever melting cords from them. So you can just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my creative rings, can you recycle them? So again, that's angels. Can you please recycle any invasive beings messing with my creative rings? And sometimes a newbie will hear that and be like, oh my God, there are invasive beings in the world. Wow. Which, you know, I understand that sounds a little spooky, but like, it's like you're giant in comparison. These things are just little teeny pesky things compared to how big you are. So just for context there. So you can bring up a purple earth energy grounding from the core of the earth at purple. Make your that grounding purple just for your creative rings. Bathe your creative rings in purple earth energy. That could be nice and calm. And let's do sticky gold wax for your creative rings because you could have like hard objects that got stuck in there that were thrown at you that are stuck in the creative rings that still haven't dislodged. So sticky gold wax is gold light for your hands and it sticks to whatever's not you, right? And then so then you can move out the wax with the junk. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax all in the inside and all around your creative rings. Have it stick to everything that's not you, hard objects, invasive people, invasive beings. Lift all of that out. Angels, here you go. Again, let those flaps relax and fall shut. And you can unblock above and below your creative rings because you can have energy blocks around them that complicate everything too much. All right, good enough. Good job, good job, good job. Great job. My confetti isn't working. It took me like 7 tries to get that confetti. Oh. All right. Wardrobe change. Hold on. Is that enough? Oh, I always get hot when I heal. Okay, So chakra repair is easy and cool. So let's do it. This is the basic shape of a chakra, an open cylinder that is open equally on both front and back or top and bottom, depending on the chakra. But I would suggest that it's not a cone. It's like this so that you can release as much as possible and have as good flow as possible. So just make a copy of an open cylinder in front of you and just be like, okay, well, this represents all my major and minor chakras of my body and my spirit, which is a complicated way of saying all my chakras. But just so you know, that includes even acupuncture points, which are chakras, all sorts of cool chakras that you have everywhere. So just you have your composite copy of a chakra, right? And with your intention, you say, okay, well, this represents all my chakras, right? And then you use gold light from your hands to repair and unblock all your chakras using this composite copy. So gold light, melt cords from people. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my chakras, can you recycle them? Which is a pretty way of saying destroy them, invasive beings. But this way, you're asking your angels to do it. So if there are some invasive beings that just got lost along the way and will be fine somewhere else, then your angels will whisk them away and not destroy them. So you can have damage to your chakras because people throw energy subconsciously usually. So there could be cracks, missing pieces, scratches that don't belong there. So if you use so much gold light, then that can repair all that. And you can have blocks either around one of the round openings or wrapped around or stuffed inside the chakra. Gold wax again, just in case there's some hard objects that are a little bit too stuck there. So sticky gold wax, this composite copy. So you're sticky gold waxing all your chakras, basically, and have the wax stick to everything that's not you, that is healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. And you lift all the wax out with the junk attached. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, again, healthy and gentle intention. Lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. All right, great job. We could unblock chakras to help the theme. For the themes. So you still have your composite copy of representing all your chakras, healthy and gentle intention, right? You can lift out any blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, that if you get rid of them would help your confidence. So lift out your blocks and you could run gold light through them until they melt, or you could run gold light through them to get everybody out and then blow them up. So lift out your confidence blocks, so much gold light that they melt. Lift out your confidence blocks, use so much gold light that they melt away. Lift out your confidence blocks, and another alternative is hand them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? Okay, so then the another part of the theme is intuition, right? So same thing, you have your composite copy that represents all your chakras, and lift out what's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now that is blocking your intuition. So lift out your intuition blocks. Use so much gold light that you melt it all away. Lift out your intuition blocks. Use so much gold light. Melt it all away. Lift out your intuition blocks. And you could give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? So the third aspect of the theme is inner peace, which sometimes I have said inner silence or inner serenity. They're all sort of cousins. So whichever you favor more is fine, or all of the above. So you have your composite copy representing all your chakras. Lift out any blocks to your serenity, inner peace, or inner silence that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Use so much gold light that you're melting them all away. Okay, lift out your inner silence, inner peace, inner serenity blocks and use so much gold light, you melt everybody out, and you could just blow them up if you want, if you're healing yourself. Or you could melt them completely. Lift out inner silence, inner serenity, or inner peace blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Lift them out, and you could hand them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? So just a little extra repair and nourishing after that. Let the flaps relax. Again, this is what the flaps look like when they're irritated. But if they're relaxed, it's just a nice smooth round opening on both ends of the chakra. Right? So just let those flaps relax and fall shut. All right, great job. So this is the 5th essential. We have almost finished the 5 essentials. How thrilling. I'm thrilled. All right. So these, the good karma windows, that's GKW, good karma windows. It's just my name for cool things back here. They're part of your astral body aura, and you have 7 of them, 1 in each astral body aura layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each one looks like a triple frame window. It's just a way for you to bring in new energy. And if they get damaged, then it's a way for invasive energy to work its way in. But we can repair them and unblock them and make it better. So let's do that. Now the triple frame windows, this is what I mean by that. That's that shape of a triple frame window. So you can just imagine them out in front of you, all in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if that blows your mind, you can imagine one that is a composite copy that represents all 7. So you're just repairing one shape, but your intention is you're repairing all 7 at the same time. So it's up to you. When I'm healing myself, I do like to see all 7 because I like to intuit which ones are busted and which ones are fine. But, you know, whatever you prefer. So use gold light. And I like to imagine when one needs repair, it's like as it's being repaired, it sort of clicks back, like click, 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 click. And if it's already, but you don't have to, but sometimes like hearing the sound of happening is kind of fun. And you can lift out the blocks, so the good karma windows, the copy of the good karma windows is still there, but you're lifting out the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of that are within those blocks, in that area. So, and then just use so much gold light. Let these blocks melt away. So again, lift out the blocks within your good karma windows that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and use so much gold light. They melt away. And again, you may need extra repair in one of them or several of them. So like I said, they're kind of like back doors to your astral body energy system. So you just want to see, okay, is this back door secure? Is this back door secure? You know, and just kind of test each one with your intuition. Because you want to bring in your positive change energy, but then you don't want just rando invasive energy to be able to stroll in. All right. So that's good karma windows. And having those nice and repaired and unblocked can help with the quality of sleep. Could help you stay asleep longer. It can help with focus and staying present during challenging situations. So good stuff to work. Base of skull points. So here, I believe I have fixed the sound issue that I was having when I was showing this diagram. But you can confirm that if you want. Base of skull point sound. And let me know that it's nice if you wish. But anyway, so back here shows the traditional Chinese medicine meridians that go through the base of skull area. And each meridian, when it's as healthy as possible, you could think of it like a red flowy tube with red flowy life force flowing through it. And you have your body and your spirit. And so red is the color, a good vibration. But if it's not you, it could be white, it could be black, it could be all sorts of weird, silver even. So just check it out. Use gold light to repair and unblock. And you can bring up red earth energy straight from the core of the earth to the base of skull area. And it is interesting because these meridians, they are a part of the physical body, though they really affect the spirit. But then these locations on the astral body very much affect. It's like the same location on your spirit really affects the same location on your body. And the same location in like one of the Wei Qi auras really affects it's like your astral body aura, and then various Wei Qi auras are especially key here. Basically governing vessel Wei Qi aura, urinary bladder Wei Qi aura, and gallbladder meridian Wei Qi aura. But anyway, so there are like about 5 auras that are especially important back here. So let's unblock all those auras. And you don't have to know like those things I just listed out. I named those meridians that just went through there. But if that's TMI, it's TMI for you. It's okay. You can just, with your intention, make sure you unblock. Oh, good. Thank you. With your intention, make Qi aura, urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura, and gallbladder meridian Wei Qi aura. Basically, all those meridians that go through the base of skull points, those Wei Qi auras are very important right there. So you just want to see, because you could have like weird chunks in any of those auras that really impact everything. So we are okay. So again, that's only for people who want that level of detail. It is not necessary to know all that if it's too much for you to do the proper healing. You just use your intention and imagine the blocks that are important to get rid of, that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. But we're working that area basically around those base of skull points. All those dots you see on the diagram, those are chakras within those meridians. So you comb through your head in that area and outward. And you want to imagine the blocks basically in those 5 auras, but you imagine those blocks and use so much gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you recycle them? Okay. So again, comb through your head, comb through the back of your head, the back of your neck, comb outward through the auras, and you want to gather up any health blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of in all 5 of those auras, especially. And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then angels, help me clear all this. How about that? You can just use gold light to clear it all. Okay. So a quick teaching aside is like, sometimes with this level of detail that I teach people, and the reason I teach this level of detail is because some people are advanced or even just motivated intermediate people. And so they're ready for that level of detail as they're self-healing. But the simplicity is important still. And also being home, being present in your body. Like it's as if your body is a house, right? Your house for your spirit when you're awake. And so you could get so lost in the weeds of like, oh, my 5th good karma window, or oh, my chakra, or oh, astral travel, or oh, out of body meditation, that you're not like present enough. And if you're not present enough, it's like you're not in your house. So if you're worried about so many invasive beings or whatever, or, your sister who's whacking your knee or something, then it can weaken you, everything in moderation, everything in balance, so yeah, detail is cool and fun if you're present enough for it to be appropriate, let's say, right? If you're not that present, you can do as much as will get you more present, but try to pair it with the physical stuff like stretching, exercise, drinking enough, healthy liquids every day, getting enough sleep, eating your protein, doing your stretching, getting some time walking outside. Pump your arms when you walk, like try to, show up, because you can kind of get overly fixated on the detail of energy clearing, and it's not effective at some point. You have to balance it out with showing up, eating your protein, having your hydration, knowing, anyway, you get the point. So the physical body stuff, there is stuff that isn't energy healing that is just as important in life. So I just want to mention that, because I think sometimes, I don't talk much about that stuff in these live streams. And so I don't want to give the impression that, oh, just heal your chakras and everything's perfect in life. It's just one way, one important way to balance yourself and get the most out of your life. But it's not the only thing that one would need to be balanced. So I hope that makes sense. And you can use your intuition and talk to your angels on an ongoing basis to see what else you need to tweak in your life, your lifestyle, your daily habits, your food, your sleep, all that good stuff. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Being in the house, being in your body, and also that was about balance and lifestyle. lifestyle stuff and physical stuff like exercise. Okay, cool. All right. So we did our 5 essentials. What's next? What exciting stuff should we do next? Yay! So I'm going to look at what we're doing next. So I will be quiet for a minute while I look. Oops. Let's see. Want to change the scenery. Okay, thank you for waiting. So this is something I've been looking forward to doing. It's quick, it's easy, and it helps calm mental frenetic energy. So blue is a nice color for the mind. As far as your major chakras 1 through 7, the 5th chakra most directly relates to your mind. And for the 5th chakra, I would say an ideal color is like a medium to light blue. So if you imagine, there are a whole bunch of different ways you can imagine your mind. How we're going to be doing it later is as a garden. So if you want, you can do that now, or you can have some other way of representing your mind. Imagine it as a mountain, as a river, whatever pleases you. But I'm going to imagine 2 gardens next to each other that are connected. One is for your subconscious mind and one is for your conscious mind. So I call these mind gardens. And then there's a flowing barrier in between them because you don't want to be aware of everything in your subconscious mind right now. But there are some things that would be useful, and so they can trickle into your conscious mind, right? And so a blue soak is simple. It's just earth energy set to a color blue coming straight up from the core of the earth to soak your mind. So go ahead, and if you're using the garden imagery like I am, or however you're using it, beaches to represent your mind, or a mountain or a river, just imagine that, and then imagine a connection straight down to the core of the earth and set that connection to blue. So it's a blue grounding for your mind, and then bring straight up from the core of the earth blue earth energy. Earth energy, straight from the core of the earth, set to the color blue, whatever shade you like, and soak your mind. Soak all parts of your mind with blue earth energy. And you could use gold light as well, but the whole point of it is the blue earth energy. And you can do a couple deep breaths while you do that. And with this nice blue grounding for your mind, you get to receive as much earth energy as you need to calm your mind. And you also can release whatever you need to down to the core of the earth through that blue grounding. You can wash some stuff out of your mind too that's chaotic and unhealthy. Just wash all that stuff out of your mind down to the core of the earth. And bring up as much blue earth energy as you need. Balance and nourish your mind. You can just take a few deep breaths and feel how that feels. And you can still be very present and have a calm mind. So breathe into your toes, breathe into your hands, breathe into your spine. All right, great job. So that was a blue earth energy soak to calm your mind. Great job, great job. Woohoo! All right. So I guess we're kind of on the roll with the mind healing stuff. We could do the rest of the mind healing stuff. So again, you can imagine your mind however you want, as beaches, as mountains, as rivers, as gardens, like I'm going to be doing. And you can imagine separate ones that are interconnected. So one for your conscious mind and one for your subconscious mind, and then a flowing barrier in between them that you want to be flowing and healthy, so that you become aware of the things in your subconscious that you need to be aware of, and not everything. Just only what is healthy and helpful for you to be aware of. Right? So you can go ahead and heal if you're doing 2 gardens, your mind gardens. Go ahead and heal those with gold light and heal that flowing barrier. You can make that a gold flowing barrier between your subconscious mind garden and your conscious mind garden. And distortion blocks can be anywhere, really. And they're just energy blocks, but because they're in your mind, they can cause you to perceive things in a distorted and unhealthy way. So you can just lift out the amount that's healthy and gentle to clear right now of distortion blocks. And they could be in your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, or in that barrier in between the 2 minds. So just lift out distortion blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. And just use so much gold light. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? And I just keep using gold light, melt the people out of these blocks, anybody that's corded to the blocks, and just keep using so much gold light that the blocks melt away. These blocks could even be from past lives, because if you don't clear it in this life, it comes with you to the next. So it's a really good exercise to do, to not only simplify the rest of your life in this life, but to simplify your next life. How about that? even better. So again, gold light, heal both of your mind sections, their mind gardens or mind beaches or mind mountains or mind rivers, whatever, and heal the flowy barrier between the two. And lift out of the whole system any distortion blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then lots of gold light, melt the people out. There could be people you don't even know anymore that are ported to this stuff. Doesn't matter who, just use gold light, melt everybody out. And just use so much gold light that all the blocks melt fully. All right. So I had said that we're also going to clear, I call them different names like banana peel blocks and Dramador blocks, basically like energy blocks that when they get triggered, you stop clearing energy, you just get more and more stuck and more tuned out. So since we have these mind spaces that we're healing right now, let's do some of that this way. So do you have any energy blocks in your mind anywhere, conscious or subconscious mind or the barrier in between, that are like banana peel blocks? You know, that when you slip on it, when it gets triggered, it's just like, woo, things don't go so well. Right? So any blocks that affect, we could say affect your focus, affect you to especially function under pressure, right? So lift out those focus under pressure blocks, right? And then just use so much gold light. You say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these? And just keep melting people out of the blocks. And then melt the blocks themselves. Feel how that feels. Take a couple deep breaths. So again, lift out of your mind gardens, if that's what you're working. Any banana peel blocks, any blocks that once they get triggered, you get less and less and less present, right? So just lift out your banana peel blocks. And the angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into these? And just keep melting people out of the blocks and melt the blocks. If any of them don't clear, you can just wrap them up in gold light. Say, angels, can you help me with these? So drama door blocks, I didn't really explain that well just now. It's drama door blocks is just when it gets triggered, you lose simplicity. Your problem solving, it just everything gets fuzzy. Things get dramatic and not a good way. So we could just call them drama blocks, drama door blocks, whatever. But now that we're healing your mind, all aspects of your mind, you can just lift out any drama blocks, negative, drama blocks out of your mind that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. The angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then lots of gold light. Melt people out of these blocks. And keep melting them until they're all gone. Or once people are melted out of them, you could blow them up if you're healing yourself. Or you could wrap them up in gold light if any are left and say, angels, can you help me with these? All right, good job, good job. Woohoo! So let's celebrate with some butterflies. Yay, good job. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we haven't yet done the mind garden type work for the theme. I know we did the theme stuff when we were doing chakra repair and unblocking, but tuition confidence. And we'll say inner peace. Okay. So again, as I keep saying, if you don't want to envision your mind as gardens, you can imagine your mind as one river or two for conscious and subconscious, mountains, beaches, whatever imagery pleases you is fine. But I'm going to do 2 gardens, one for the subconscious mind, one for the conscious mind, and connecting the 2 gardens is a gold flowy barrier. Because you want a healthy connection between your subconscious and your conscious mind. You want whatever is optimal for you, healthy and gentle for you to know, to be able to flow through from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. But only what you need, what's healthy and gentle. So you're healing your mind gardens, and then what you can do is look at your mind gardens in the context of confidence. And see if things kind of become noticeable to you. Things that help your confidence in either garden, things that don't help your confidence in either garden. And if you're having trouble seeing, try to keep it really basic. Like imagine a block to your confidence in your conscious mind as a physical object. So maybe it's like a big car tire sitting in the middle of your conscious mind garden. And so you want to lift out the tire and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go, right? And heal underneath it, right? So, or in your subconscious mind, if there are blocks to your confidence, you're having trouble seeing, just imagine it as something simple. Maybe it's like an old beat up car, right? So you just surround that beat up car in so much gold light, you could melt it fully, or you could wrap it up in the gold light and lift it out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Because it's just energy. So you're strong enough to lift an energy car. Right? So again, confidence. You're looking at your mind gardens and you're thinking about your confidence. And it's okay to surprise yourself. Actually, it's usually very good if you can surprise yourself while you're meditating and, energy healing, same difference. And just look and notice like, oh, okay, that's something. There's like a white wall in my subconscious mind when I'm looking for confidence blocks. And when I start running gold light through that white wall, it reminds me of my sibling, mother, fill in the blank, ex-husband, whatever, right? And then, so it's not your energy. So just use so much gold light that it melts, or use so much gold light that you just lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Right? So go ahead, imagine a block to your confidence in either the connection between the gardens, or the conscious mind garden, or the subconscious mind garden. You imagine a confidence block that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. And then lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Or you can just lift out a whole bunch at once, as long as you have that intention healthy and gentle. So lift out the confidence blocks, use so much gold light. Angels, here you go. Lift out your confidence blocks, use a lot of gold light. Angels, here you go. Okay. And then now that was confidence. So now we'll do intuition. So again, you imagine your mind gardens, right? 2 gardens, one for your subconscious mind, one for your conscious mind, with the gold flowy wall connecting them. And you want to lift out anything that's healthy and gentle to get rid of that has been blocking your intuition. So lift out the blocks. And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this stuff, can you recycle them? And then melt the people's cords out of all this junk. And then melt all the junk fully with gold light from your hands. And if any of it's not melting, just wrap it up in gold light and hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? Take a deep breath, see how that feels. Again, you could splice in like another blue soak with your mind. So nice blue grounding all the way down to the core of the earth, just to bring up blue earth energy straight into your mind gardens. Right? Soak your mind gardens in blue earth energy. Calm things down. And again, lift out a healthy and gentle amount of blocks that have been blocking your intuition. So lift out the intuition blocks. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? Use so much gold light that you're melting everybody out of the blocks. And melt the blocks fully. If there's any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? Oh, right. Good job. Good job. So then inner peace is something that's also great to work with mind gardens. So imagine your mind gardens, right? Subconscious mind garden, conscious mind garden, and a flowy gold barrier in between them, connecting them both. And heal both your subconscious mind and your conscious mind and the flowy barrier in between them. And you want to lift out of your mind blocks that have been blocking your inner peace, right? So you can imagine them. And if you want, you can do one at a time. We'll do one at a time at first. So just imagine some block, either in your conscious mind or your subconscious mind. Imagine what it looks like. Maybe it looks like a big rock or an old beat up house or something. And surround it in so much gold light. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this, can you recycle them? And then just use so much gold light that you melt the block entirely. Or wrap it up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? So now we can just do a bunch at once, as long as you have that intention, healthy and gentle. So for both mind gardens, lift out any inner peace blocks, blocks to your inner silence, your inner serenity, your ability to handle external noises, right? Because people on an energy level, they might be screaming in frustration. They might be singing songs you don't particularly care for with their mind and broadcasting it out telepathically. They could be clanging pots and pans on a physical auditory sound. And you want your peace. You want your ability to just be calm, have your serenity, feel safe, right? So imagine your two gardens, if you want, or two rivers, or two mountains, or two beaches, whatever you like to imagine for your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, right? And I'm doing two gardens. So a garden for your subconscious mind, a garden for your conscious mind, and imagine a gold flowy barrier connecting the two, right? And you want to lift out with your intention, just lift out any blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of that interfere with your inner peace, your inner calm, right? And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive energies hooked into this stuff, can you recycle those invasive energies, right? So then it's just maybe some cords from people. So use more gold light on these blocks to melt people away from them. And you can keep using gold light until the blocks fully dissolve. If some of it doesn't dissolve, just wrap it up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? So again, heal your mind, conscious and subconscious mind, and the barrier in between. Melt away distortions, things that cause misunderstandings or confusion. Melt those out of your mind. And again, lift out blocks or baggage that interfere with your inner peace. Lift out the blocks. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are hooked into this junk? And then just use lots of gold light, melt people out of these energy blocks. People might be courting these blocks without even realizing it. It's fine. You don't have to worry about who's courting. Just lots of gold light, melt everybody out, and then just melt the blocks away fully. If some of the blocks don't disappear, just wrap them up in gold light and hand them to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with all that? So again, one more time, bring up blue earth energy straight from the core of the earth just for your mind. Blue is not the best color for, say, your lower chakras, but if you're just imagining your mind gardens, blue is a wonderful earth energy color. So bring it straight up from the core of the earth to soak your mind gardens with blue earth energy. And affirmations are also a nice complement to energy work. So you could think up some nice affirmations for your mind and say them to yourself right now if you want. I'll suggest a few, but you don't have to use these exact ones, of course. So one you might use is, I can calm my mind. I am calming my mind. My mind is becoming more and more peaceful with each breath. Deep breath. I release what is troubling my mind. I release the cares and worries that are irritating my mind. I embrace simplicity and I embrace peacefulness in my mind. You can breathe into your whole body, breathe into every joint, every bone. Breathe into your butt, your toes, your fingers, your spine, your nose, your head. Job. Great, great job. Woohoo! Okay. So I think, we just finished working the mind, healing the mind. And so this is like maybe somewhat similar to that. So if you like that, I think you'll like this too. We're going to heal and repair and unblock your connection to your 8th chakra. Your 8th chakra is an energy center that you do have, but it's not within your physical body, doesn't come in with your physical body when you wake up. It is above the top of your auras. It's a part of your higher self. One of the places where you store eternal wisdom and healing energy that you've gained and earned through many lifetimes of learning. So if this is like the top of your auras right here, then your 8th chakra could be a foot above that, or it could be 9 feet above that. It depends on how engaged you are with what you're currently doing. Like say if you're watching some silly cartoon, maybe your higher self is kind of taking a break and moving a little further out. But maybe if you're meditating, your higher self is pretty fascinated by the experience. And so your 8th chakra is closer to the top of your auras. Okay, so let's do it. There's a gold flowy connection between your 7th and your 8th chakra. And so that's the connection that we're going to be repairing and unblocking. So you imagine your seventh chakra. Your seventh chakra is oriented this way. Obviously, it's much smaller than this, but it is oriented this way. So round opening at the top and the bottom. And that's your seventh chakra. You can set your seventh, which is this bucket looking thing in the drawing. That's your seventh chakra. And you can make a copy out in front of you of your astral body seventh chakra, the one that's a part of you as a spirit. If you're present, it is right here below your hand, but it's, you have two seventh chakras, one for your physical body, one for your astral body. You don't have to worry so much about that. So just make your seventh chakra your favorite shade of purple. And use so much gold light that you're melting away blocks. You're melting away cords from people. You're melting away anything that's not you from your seventh chakra, and repair the top and the bottom. Health cords. And that gold flowy connection between your seventh chakra, astral body seventh chakra, and your eighth chakra. Technically, it's in the back of your eighth chakra. So like, if that's the front, that's the back, it's from there upward. And you can just imagine like a gold flowy connection, like a river, like a gold flowy river, and you want to unblock the river. You don't want any leaks in the river. So just use so much gold light. There could be like some hard objects like I put in the diagram there that cause damage. So you want to remove the hard objects. So even if you can't see, sticky gold wax would remove the hard objects. So you just, with sticky gold wax all around the seventh to eighth connection, have it stick to everything that's not you and remove all that. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax, this seventh to eighth connection. Have it stick to everything that's not you and remove it. Angels, here you go. And use a lot of gold light. You can say too, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair and unblocking, can you recycle them? And there could be a situation in your life. I mean, there could be several, of course, but maybe just pick one for starters. A situation in your life where you feel like you would like more clarity, or you would like more calming wisdom regarding this situation. So imagine that seventh to eighth connection of yours and just see, is there a clog or two in your seventh to eighth connection that's impacting your ability to get clarity and wisdom and calming, gentle energy about this situation. So imagine whatever issue or project you need extra help with, and imagine this seventh to eighth chakra connection and just see, is there any improvements that you can make, any unblocking, any repair that you can make that'll help you with clarity and wisdom and calm. Because really, you've had a lot of past lives. I mean, if you at all want to listen to what I'm saying, you're a pretty old soul. So that means you've had a lot of past lives. And so you've learned a lot. You've been through a lot. And so chances are you may have already figured out, maybe half of what you need to do a certain achievement that you have to do. So just unblock this connection of so you can get that wisdom. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. You can get your own wisdom. Deep breath, breathe into your spine. Breathe into your intestines, stomach, your lungs, all your muscles. Relax your muscles. Some people have, well, probably a lot of people have a little bit, at least a little bit of stress because of political situations in the world, wars, dictators, all sorts of things. So your with all those past lives, you've been through a lot of, battles and political turmoil and whatever, and you've probably learned a lot about how to survive and cope and thrive in these situations. So just imagine your 7th to 8th chakra connection and melt any blocks that would help you, have grace and knowledge and wisdom and presence right now, given, the current political situation, the current economic situations that you're in. So again, unblock your 7th to 8th chakra connection so that you can more easily process and thrive during your current economic realities, the current political realities in this life. And there could be, I mentioned it briefly in the start of this healing. There could be, right now when I'm doing this live stream, it's December 28th, 2025. So we're about to have the calendar new year of this calendar that we use. Different cultures use different calendars. So may not be a new year for you. And you might be listening to this at a different time, but whatever. It's nice to have a sense of where you've been and where you're headed and the changes that you want to make and the knowledge of like that you're ready and you're going to be okay. So as you unblock your 7th to 8th connection, notice some blocks that you can clear now to help you get that sense that you're going to be okay. You've been through a lot before, you know a lot, you have angels, you're an eternal spirit. You're going to get through it. So just unblock your 7th to 8th connection to give you that extra boost of wisdom and knowledge and peace of mind. And, maybe there are ways that you want to tweak your lifestyle, your habits, your personal habits, your daily habits. And there could be, one small change that leads to another small change that leads to another, and so to have that level of insight and motivation, maybe there's some unblocking that you can do of your 7th to 8th connection to help you with that, with manifesting that change, making those changes. Sometimes, people can get so stuck and it's like they think they have to change everything like tomorrow, So just melt away blocks in your 7th to 8th connection so that you have the wisdom that you need and the insight and the motivation you need. To make lifestyle adjustments and change in the ways you want. All right, great job. Great job, great job, great job. Woohoo. Hey. I want to change the scenery. Okay. So, just like the flowing waters, you can be very sort of flowing with your ability to release things that no longer serve you, right? And so that's part of how we're going to work this. Now, there are these two meridians. They're really important and helpful in traditional Chinese medicine in your body, the heart meridian and the pericardium meridian. So heart meridian, HT, and pericardium meridian, PC. And, oh yeah? Dang, okay. I think maybe this video is not helping me. I'm going to change it. Don't want anything to risk my sound. No. So I have a different one I can use. Let's see. About that. So let's see. Maybe the sound will be better this way. These are bean leaves from a really cool bean plants that I was growing a couple years ago that had purple beans. Oh, great. All right. It is completely silent right now. Okay, I'm going to keep talking and we're going to see if the sound is okay right now. Okay, all right. All righty. Okay, so first we're going to look at these two meridians and do direct healing on them. The meridians in your body, the heart meridian and the pericardium meridian. Thank you for that confirmation. And then we're going to repair those two Wei Qi auras, the auras that nourish those particular meridians. And then we're going to clear crappy gifts, things that people have dumped into those two auras. And I like thinking of them as gifts just because of the holiday theme of gift giving and all that. And sometimes people give you gifts that are just terrible or inappropriate. And maybe they mean well. And it's just, and then there's this awkwardness, like people feel like they shouldn't get rid of the gifts that they were given. So I think that's maybe a good metaphor. But if you don't like that metaphor, you can just think of it as clearing dumped energy. So I'll put that in parentheses if you prefer. Energy dumped in your space from others. All right. So first, so that was explaining. That was explaining. So now we will do So first we're going to do the heart meridian and then we're going to do the pericardium meridian. The heart meridian is protected by the pericardium meridian. So you definitely don't want to skip on the protector one, the pericardium meridian. So we'll do the heart one first and then we'll do the pericardium meridian. So this is the heart one. It starts in the armpit and goes down and ends in the pinky. So on both sides, starts in the armpit, ends in the pinky, right? So we'll just keep looping the video as we do direct healing on that heart meridian. So just use gold light, imagine your heart meridians, and unblock and repair the meridian and the little chakras within it. All the dots on the diagram, those are chakras. So basic chakra shape is an open cylinder, and they're like fit, they snug in within the meridian to keep the energy flowing within the meridian. So you want all these body meridians to be red and flowing and unrestricted. So you don't want it to like sort of have like a tight appearance or vibe. Just keep using gold light and just use so much gold light that the meridian relaxes and repairs. So there's no leaks and there's no damage. The heart meridian and the pericardium meridian really help the mind, the emotions, your mood, your quality of sleep. Even tendons and respiratory system can be helped by the pericardium meridian. But we can just think of them both together, and they both together do so much. Okay, so that was the heart meridian. And then pericardium meridian helps protect the heart. So that one starts near the nipple, just above it, and hooks around the front of the shoulder and the inner arm, just like the heart one, and ends in the middle finger, right? So from the above the nipple, shoulder, inner elbow, middle finger. So just imagine your pericardium meridian, both branches, left and right, and use so much gold light that they relax and the energy centers repair and unblock. So red and flowy is the ideal. You can bring up red earth energy also from the core of the earth and soak both of these meridians with red earth energy. And use gold light to repair and unblock. And PC6 is, it's like if you put 3 fingers on the crease in your wrist, and then it's just after that, just below that. So PC6 is the 6th point counting from here. That's 1, and then it goes blah, 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 up to the 6th in between the tendons. And PC6 helps with nausea, helps with a whole bunch of stuff. I think also your respiratory system. So it's like super cool. You can give extra healing and unblocking to PC6. All right, so above the nipple, front of the shoulder, inner elbow, middle finger. Okay, and then now we can do the Wei Qi auras for both of those. I think we could do them both at once. Hopefully that's not too confusing for you guys. So both of the auras, they wrap all around you. All your auras, all your 17 auras wrap all the way around you. So people are like, oh, draw a diagram. No, thanks. I mean, because you'd have to draw 3D. So just imagine it's your body and your astral body are in the middle of all that, and then there's just this giant bubble around you that's really just 17 bubbles if you think about it, but it looks like one bubble. So anyway, we're just particularly repairing 2 bubbles, one that is for your heart meridian and one that is for your pericardium meridian. So you can just go back and forth imagining each one separately or imagine them both together, whichever you want. And again, like I said, the protector one is the pericardium meridian, so don't skimp on that one. Either one of these could be bashed in a lot. So you want to just use so much gold light, maybe gold fire, melt away anything that's in the way. You can say, angels, if there's anything in the way of the repair of these auras, can you recycle them? So, like I said, the heart and the pericardium meridian, they go all the way around you. So they're in the front, they're in the back, sides, everywhere, right? So just check them out, repair. And they'll have gold mesh spheres, right? So innermost one, middle, and outermost, they each have that. Want to share those gold mesh spheres with gold light from your hands. We want both of these auras to be as full of gold light as possible. So the healthier your gold mesh spheres are, the better the gold light generation is. All right, so that's good enough for now. So now we'll do the return crappy gifts part. No, we're not returning them. Oh my God, that would start so much trouble. Can you imagine? No, we're definitely not returning them. We're just clearing them. That's funny though, even thinking about that. So let me see. I can't have to add something. Okay, so this is the clear crappy gifts part, which you could skip right to if you already have a sense that those two auras aren't so bad. You know, they're pretty much repaired, and those auras, those meridians are good enough. You know, you could skip to this part if you want. It'll be its own chapter, so use your intuition. Do what you want. The free country. Well, can't say that, can I? All right. So we could do both at the same time, or you could do one or the other. I feel like doing both at once. So oftentimes the gifts are in front, but they could be sneaky gifts that someone's stuck in the back. So let's do some sneaky gifts first. We'll clear some sneaky gifts. So just in the back of your heart meridian Wei Qi aura or pericardium meridian Wei Qi aura. So look for one sneaky gift that somebody stuck back here at some point. It could be in a past life, and just notice, what is it shaped like? Is it shaped like a box? Is it shaped like a rock? Is it shaped like a big long tube? Whatever. Just notice something from somebody that's not you back here in one of those two Wei Qi auras, and just use so much gold light. You could say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings at all hooked into it or involved in this thing? And then just use so much gold light, melt cords from whoever put it there, melt cords from anybody else that's cording it. And this is when you can, use your intuition for some fun and be like, okay, well, who's it from? Is it from this life or a past life? Is it from a male or female? And, my apologies if you don't, like, some people don't consider themselves either gender. So, but most people either consider themselves female or consider themselves male. So it can be a useful either or intuitive thing. Because sometimes if you do 2 question either ors, like, is it past life or this life? Is it male or female? It's easier to intuit than like going from nothing to like, oh, it's from my ex-friend, when I was 10 years old. So it's up to you, but I don't mean to be like so old-fashioned with gender or insulting anybody. But anyway, so you're thinking about who gave this to you if you want. It doesn't matter. The point is to melt it away. So melt it away. So it's gone. Okay. If it's not melting, wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? All right. Again, think of, your heart meridian, which is armpit to pinky, your pericardium meridian, which is middle finger, above your nipples to your middle finger, right? And those two Wei-Chi auras all around you. Think of those. And then think of the back of both of them and think of a crappy gift that's sitting in the back from somebody. And what is it shaped like? And start using gold light on it. Say, angels, if there's any invasive beings hooked into it, can you recycle them? Keep using gold light, melt people out of it. And this is where you, if you want, you can intuit some juicy details about it. Is it from a male or a female? Is it from this life or a past life? Who's it from? What is sort of the message with it? And then just melt it away. You don't have to know any of that, by the way, to melt it. And if it's not melting, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you take this? All right. And then you can just comb through that area. And if there are any invasive beings in that area where the crappy gift used to be, you can just recycle them. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this area? Okay. And again, I want to remind people these two meridians have a big impact on mood, also sleep, also your joints and tendons, also digestion, respiratory system, a lot of different things. So it's cool. So we were doing some clearing crappy gifts that were behind in the back of your heart and pericardium meridian Wei-Chi auras. So let's clear some gifts that are in front, stuck in front of those two auras. So again, heart meridian, armpit to pinky, pericardium meridian, above your nipples to your middle finger. So be aware of those two auras, those two meridians. And in the front of those two meridians, is there a crappy gift that would be really healthy and gentle and super great to get rid of right now? And just imagine the shape of that gift and surround it in gold light. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this? And use so much gold light, melt away people corded to this thing. You can intuit the juicy details if you want. Who is it from? When did you get it? What's the message with it? And then just keep melting it away with gold light. If there's any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angel. Okay, so now we can do kind of a mass clearing from the front first. So any crappy gifts in the front of your heart and pericardium meridian Wei-Chi auras that you want to get rid of, just put a big gold net and gather up all the crappy gifts that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Drag out the net of crappy gifts and say, angels, here you go. All right. And now think of the back of both of those auras, pericardium and heart meridian Wei-Chi auras, and make a big gold net and gather up all the crappy gifts stuck in the back of those auras that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. The angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into any of this? And then use so much gold light that you just drag it out with the net. Angels, here you go. And gold light. Oh my God. I hit the mute button at some point. Oh, how long was that happening? Oh, thank God. You have to yell out if you notice it. Alrighty. Let's see. Do I have sound now? I have sound now. I lost sounds after clearing the front and back gifts. Wow. No sound for about 3 minutes. Wow. Okay. We're just going to do a quick gold net because what we were doing for the last 3 minutes pretty much is we were clearing crappy gifts in the front and the back. And we did a couple just single, clear one thing at a time and kind of intuit who gave it to you, blah, blah, blah. And then we did gold nets to get rid of a whole bunch of it at once, like from the front of both of those auras all at once and from the back of all those auras all at once. So we'll just do gold net both auras all at once, healthy and gentle. And we'll do that a few times, okay? So be aware of your heart meridian, which goes from your underarm to your pinky. Be aware of your pericardium meridian, which goes from the above your nipples to your middle fingers. Right? So be aware of those two auras. Imagine those auras, imagine those meridians. Those auras wrap all around you, right? Then you have a copy out in front of you. And use gold netting and just gather up. You pass it through and gather up what's healthy and gentle to clear as far as crappy gifts, or if you prefer to think of them as dumped energy, from both of those auras. So just net the whole thing, get rid of healthy and gentle amount of crappy gifts from those two auras, and say, angels, can you help me with these? Okay, and one more time. Imagine both those meridians, heart meridian and pericardium meridian, right? And those Wei Chi auras. And imagine the crappy gifts that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. That would be really good. Help your mood, help your sleep, your joints, your respiratory system, reduce nausea, all that good stuff. And use a gold net and drag all that stuff out. And you can give it all to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? All right. Good job. Good job. All right. Okay, so there is a nice simple thing I want to do right before we wrap up. Chaos boundary wall. So chaos boundary wall is an easy way, a simple way to repair a whole bunch at once and strengthen your boundaries with external chaos, which is why it's called chaos boundary wall. Basically, just to strengthen your energy boundaries without having to think of all the little details like good karma windows and chakras and auras and meridians and blah, 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 and grounding and all that. Okay. So you can just imagine yourself, even if you're just like look like a potato or a blob or something, you know, if you don't have to, you know, if your vision isn't very detailed. So imagine yourself and then imagine the external world, you know, everybody and everything, and have a flowy wall that represents your strong boundaries. And definitely have it be flowing and gold. So no resistance in it. Wash out the resistance in it. Wash out any judgment in it, because judgment weakens boundaries. So wash out judgment. Wash out fear. Wash out grief. Just like neutral boundaries, right? You want them as strong as possible. Healthy boundaries. Right? So wash out any shame. Wash out any like overthinking energy. And look for rips in the boundary wall, you know, that could represent damage in all sorts of chakras or whatever. If you have any rips, just use gold light and let the rips grow back. It's a nice, strong boundary. Strong and flowing. You can imagine, let's see. Maybe there are some hard objects stuck in your chaos boundary wall that weaken the wall. So you can imagine if there are any hard objects in your chaos boundary wall and just surround them in gold light and lift them out and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you can imagine again any objects, hard objects in your chaos boundary wall. And you can also say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are at all interested in or connected to these objects? To get the invasive beings out of the way and then get the objects out. Angels, here you go. All right. So another simple one we can do as we wrap up. So you can redo your grounding, both your groundings. Just get rid of the old ones, make new ones, make them nice and wide as all your auras, wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Make them both red or orange or yellow, both the same color. Just you can test both red groundings, see if you release a lot at red. Test both orange groundings, see if you release more at orange. Test both groundings if they're yellow, see if the releasing is better that way. And use your grounding to bring up earth energy and fully soak. And you could just soak with one color, but sometimes if you run through all three, it sort of yanks the blocks out of you more. It's like cathartic in a gentle way to switch gears and do all three, and then you go back to whichever you prefer. So make your groundings red. So both groundings, one for your body, one for your spirit, right? Make both your groundings red and bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth and soak everything. Nose, your toes, your hair, your auras, your chakras, everything in red earth energy. Deep breath. Bring that down to the height of your grounding and make your groundings orange. Your favorite shade of orange. Bring up orange earth energy up, 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 all the way. Soak everything in orange earth energy. And then deep breath. And then bring that down to the level of your grounding and then make your groundings yellow. Whatever shade of yellow you want. And bring up yellow earth energy. Up, 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 up. Soak everything in yellow earth energy. Your bones, your muscles, your nervous system, your chakras, joints, auras. And that's having it up is an earth energy soak, right? And now you could leave it up and just switch it back to whichever color is best for you right now. So red or orange or yellow. Or you could bring it down to the level of normal grounding, which is as high as your third chakra, and have your favorite shade of red or orange or yellow that way. All right. And then the only other thing I want us to do is clear STEBs. So that's like clearing up leftovers. So STEB stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks. So it's just whatever's still triggered. So you can put copies of whatever's still triggered out in front of you, all the energy blocks, and say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? So that way your angels will sort it out. And if something's too much, they'll remove it for now. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that might be hooked into this stuff? Deep breath while your angels do that work for you. And then bring up red earth energy, soak all the energy blocks in red earth energy, use gold light from your hands, and melt people out of these blocks. And you can go ahead and melt all the blocks away. Again, put out in front of you copies of anything that's still triggered, anything that's bothering you on any level, conscious or subconscious. Bring up red earth energy. Angels, can you recycle any invasive energy? Angels, is this too much to do right now? Deep breath. And go ahead, use gold light, melt all the cords, and melt all the blocks. Or you can blow them up, or you can wrap them up in gold light. If there are any leftovers, give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? All right. So that's a healing. Good job, good job, good job, good job. You're amazing. Woo, woo, woo. So let's see. So I'm going to take a restroom break, and you can too if you need one. And then I'm going to come back. I will turn the camera back on, and I will do stretching for a minute or so. And maybe that inspires you to do some stretching, whatever is healthy and gentle for you. I'm not encouraging you to copy me. I'm just hoping that maybe stretching, trying to give a little infomercial for how important stretching is, basically. And then we can do a little chit chat of, if you have feedback on how the healing was for you, or any comments you have about something that we discuss, like anything about the theme or, stuff we brought up in the healing. Okay. So I will be back soon. And I'll get rid of the camera while I'm gone. I'm looking for the camera. I really can't find it. Come on, camera. Where are you? Where are you, camera? I really want to turn the camera back on, but I can't find it. Camera, camera, camera. Oh, there you are. Okay, so I'm going to do stretching for a moment, and then we'll do a Q&A, and it will be glorious. But I will try to be concise and time efficient. See how that goes. Do I still have sound? Yes, I do. That's good. Okay. Hello, hello. I hope you all had a good break. Let's change the scenery, but not screw the sound. Let's see if I can handle that. Da, 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 da. That's a nice one. I could do that one. Let's see. How about that? That's a nice side, but then that side shows the path, which is kind of like a metaphorical for your spiritual path. I kind of like that too. That's the problem with this graphic. Too much of it is interesting. All right, enough of that. So let's see. See what we got here. A lot of people saying hello. Thank you for your hellos. Yeah, thanks for the feedback about the sound. I wish I don't think you guys, maybe you guys were hearing with a lot of lag because I didn't get any, I don't think I got any feedback in the moment that wasn't good, but it's okay. It was only 3 minutes, thank God. Thank you for the feedback though about the sound. Thank you for the details. It always helps. I appreciate you so much. Well, that's nice. Thank you. Just joined around drama door blocks, rainy and 44-ish degrees in Southwest Michigan. 44-ish, yeah. That's probably was our daytime temperatures. I think we're going to get kind of cold in the next couple of days. I mean, we haven't really had, I mean, we've been lucky, I guess, in a way, for as cold. But, someone says hi from Chicago, 49 degrees and evening. Sky is clearing up. 49. That's not bad, I guess, for the end of the year. Someone says good sound post bean plant photo. Yeah. That was when I didn't realize that I had messed up the sound again. This mute button here is like so easy to hit, and there's no light indication of when it's muted. So it's a bit of a thing. See. Is there a trickster spirit in your home? Yeah, I asked the angels about that. No, they said it's more of a resistance creation. So what is a resistance creation? Yeah. So a resistance creation is something that you resist. You really don't want to happen, and you resist it so much that you manifest it. Sometimes over and over and over again, which is really delightful. So sound issues seem to be a bit of a resistance creation for me lately. So there's that. That, and I do think Roku is the devil spawn. But I should qualify that I'm kidding when I say it's devil spawn. Because I know I'm a spiritual person, and so people might think I'm literal. There's no devil and a devil spawn, whatever, it's just a fun thing to say. But Roku, I guess, devices, they like reach out and take over your laptop sound with you not wanting it to, even though the Roku device is like in the other room and nobody's watching the TV, but just the fact that it's plugged in, it will take over your sound potentially. So anyway, there's that too. But yeah, I need to stop resisting having imperfections in my live stream, because I think that's part of contributing to the drama. Someone says, yay, I feel amazing. Oh, good. That's nice. So let's see what else. Thank you, Jana. I feel more at ease. It's been a long day. Feeling the chaos wall was my favorite. Chaos boundary wall. Yeah, towards the very end. I have been getting a sense of trying something new. This feeling comes and goes throughout this year, but I never take action. I never take action. This time, I don't want it to slip away. If I self-assess, I think my mom gets in the way and takes it. Clearing agreements comes to mind. I think I made a bunch of healing progress about her, and this is the next thing. Well, I mean, there's a couple of things that I see with that too. I mean, I'm glad that you did a self-assessment on it, and I will definitely directly comment on what you said in a sec. But when I look at you trying things new, trying new things, changing, making changes in your life, I think that for maybe like 6 years or so, you've been wanting to make changes that you've been wanting to like sort of turn the page and have things feel really different. And change is very incremental, and that sort of trips you up, because if you don't make, you know, December feel totally different than November feels, you tend to kind of crap on yourself about it, you know, and be like, oh, you know, I suck, you know. And there are changes that are subconscious that are still real, and in retrospect you can see it. I mean, I think maybe you're just not great at seeing your change, or maybe you're just like you yeah, I think it's just the incremental nature of it. You tend to think that doesn't count, you know, like the incremental changes that you have been making. You know, I think in pretty much every area of your life in this year, you either have more awareness of it, less self-judgment of it, more clarity about it, and you have made small changes. It's just that you, like I said, want it to be night and day, and it's not night and day. So you feel like, oh, this always slips away. But I don't think that's true. I think if you understand that real change is incremental, I mean, it's true that you can get momentum and you can make more changes more quickly, you know, and that you've been having trouble with that. I would definitely agree with you there. But I think that if you can validate the small changes that you're making and the levels of the shifts in awareness, the shifts in self-judgment, the shifts in mental boundaries that you have with people in your life, then you can build on that. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think anything has been slipping away. I think that you have this way of pissing on your own parade, basically. You know, you have to celebrate the small victories and to give yourself strength to make another small victory, and then another one and another one, and after a while you have momentum from those small victories. You see what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, sure, there'll be like a big shift and it's like, whoa, what did I do this week? I am so different. But that's pretty rare. Usually it's a lot of small things, and you know, you just keep going with those. So maybe think about that and think about like what changes have you made, you know, in your awareness and your self-judgment and your boundaries with people, all that, you know, your approach interpersonally in your life. I think you'll be able to see that you did make a lot of changes this year, and more than you have in the last 5 years. And so the idea would be to build on those changes and, you know, add more. So I hope that makes sense. And, you know, it's something you could journal about, you know, and just practice validating and celebrating your victories. I hope that makes sense. But when you said clearing agreements with your mom, do you have agreements with your mom that make your changes not happen or slip away and all that? No, yeah. I think there's just you get impatient and you don't look at the actual change that's happening. You get stuck on the size of change that you feel you should be making, and you don't validate the change that you can make and that you are making. And so you kind of end up fighting with yourself. But that's That's fixable. You can work on that. Alrighty. Hope that makes sense. So congratulations on the changes that you have been making this year. All right. So someone says, thanks for the healing, Janet. I'm sorry, I've been slacking off on the surveys. Oh, speaking of which, yes, thank you for that lead in to something I did want to mention. Mhm. So if people could do their surveys a little earlier, like, okay, say, I mean, the final survey doesn't so much matter how early you do it. I mean, well, to a point. I mean, because like the first healing of the next set is January 8th, right? Because I didn't want to do it on January 1st. So January 8th, Thursday, January 8th is the first healing of the next healing set. So, I mean, I'm not, the earliest I would probably be looking at surveys is maybe, I mean, I'll probably look at a few before then, but maybe like the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, that kind of thing, the 7th. So if you do it like, the morning of the next healing, it's hard, or like late the night before the next healing. It's really hard for me to find enough time to review your survey and reflect upon it enough so that it contributes to my process for planning the next healing. So, and it's more about, like the healing, the Thursday healing. And I know it was a holiday, so it was like more pronounced than usual that people were like very last minute with their surveys. But, like the healing was on Thursday. And so I did have time and make time on Friday to review surveys and on Saturday to review surveys. But there were a bunch of people that pulled them out like super late on Saturday night and then on Sunday morning. And I just, this time I just didn't have time because it just pushes back the start time later and later and later as I review all these late surveys. So, I mean, I'm not saying, never is better than late. I think late is better than never, but if you could do it sooner than that, then I'd have time to review and it wouldn't add to my chronic lateness that I have. So I hope that makes sense. But I do really appreciate the surveys. And, if you don't fill them out every time, it's really okay. I mean, because other people do, and so I have enough. But thank you, everybody, for all the surveys that you have filled out. I really appreciate the time and the sincerity that goes into, the positive intention that goes into them. It's very touching and helpful. Oh, right. So that's my little speech. What surveys? But you're saying I've been slacking on the surveys. After the first healing, I did feel a surge of confidence and courage. Oh, nice. Good to know. Know that. Number 2 helps greatly. Thanks. See you next time. Oh, the number 2 thing, they rank you. Sorry about that. That's so weird that YouTube ranks chatters. But anyway, see you next time. Yes, see you too. Someone says, I'm trusting my intuition more. During the healing, I got a message for a friend and triple checked before offering it to them. It was what they needed to hear, they said. Oh, that's nice. Blue Soak and Mind Garden with affirmations was really what got me fitted following the 7th to 8th chakra connection. Oh, so you're ranking your favorites from today. I feel like I progress and then regress, but I'm on my path. Major triggered. I see mother-in-law. Redoing my Mind Gardens work will help strengthen my boundaries. Is it accurate? Okay, so you're having an issue that you progress and then regress. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common. So yeah, if I look at you walking forward on your path, you take 5 steps forward and then you take 2 backwards and then you pause for a little and then you take 4 steps forward and then you take 1 backwards and you pause for a little. Yeah, could be a lot worse though, really. Redoing Mind Garden's work will help strengthen my boundaries. Is that accurate? I mean, there's so many ways to help strengthen boundaries. But so is redoing Mind Garden's work going to help? Yeah, it could. You could also intuit like what are your weakest, chronically weakest auras in the last month? You know, like, is it physical body aura that's chronically the weakest in the last month? No. Astral, no. GV, no. CV, yeah. CV. So put CV in among the weakest auras in the last month for you. Then like maybe check other stomach auras. So like, you know, tummy meridian auras. So like stomach meridian, is that chronically weaker? No, not really. Kidney meridian, is that chronically weaker? Not really. Spleen meridian, is that chronically weaker? Yeah, it looks like spleen meridian, and then maybe is gallbladder meridian chronically weaker? No. So spleen, so far CV and spleen. So conception vessel meridian and spleen meridian video. And then you could check like meridian. You could check like the shoulder ones, the heart, so heart and pericardium. I mean, they're nice now. We've been working them. Sanjiao meridian, is that chronically weaker? No. What are the other shoulder ones? Large intestine meridian, is that chronically weaker? Yeah, large intestine and small intestine. You could put those on the weaker list. So you get the point. I've probably checked most of them, but there's some others I didn't do. Urinary bladder meridian, is that chronically weaker? No. Yeah, so you get the point. So that could be interesting. You know, just like look at like the last couple months, you know, because things will have a trend like that, you know, and then you finally work on that aura a lot, and maybe it's better for a while. You know, so that could be an interesting thing to do. Just look at all your 17 auras, not so much like, okay, every day they have to be perfect, but what are the weaker ones lately, you know, and then that could save you time. Then you're just focusing on the weaker ones. Weaker because maybe the gold mesh spheres have big gaps in them, so they're not generating enough gold light, or weaker because they have a lot of energy blocks in them, so they tend to get ripped up more easily. Says, thanks, Janet. I hope that helps. So is it accurate that Mind Garden's work would help strengthen boundaries? I mean, I think, yeah. The mind is so powerful. So it's not a bad approach. Someone says, thanks, Janet. I had a bad headache before the healing, now gone. Ooh, nice. I'm working now and a little anxious. I'm in 7 through 2. 3, 2. 2's kind of iffy. You're in 2, but it's a very uncomfortable fit. So I would check damage, you know, like if you're in 7 through 2, but like uncomfortably in the second one, then check for damage in really any of them, but especially 3, 2, and 1 in both astral and physical. You know, because you want to see like, but you could have damage even in the 7th or in creative rings, and that's what is making you compromised enough that you don't have enough sort of oomph to get into the lower ones. So, but the biggest suspects would be 3, 2, and 1, astral and physical. But you can just double check those and see. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be auras. It seems to be just some chakra damage, some stubborn chakra damage. You're saying my brother was pretty irritable before the healing and now friendlier. Hee hee. Well, I guess that's why you get him healings, huh? I bet I had continued a lot of crappy gifts from my mom. Oh, I bet I had a lot of crappy gifts from my mom. Yes, you did. Definitely. She's a big dumper. And then you're mentioning your spouse in a good mood today. How did he do? His angels, they're in a great mood. They think they liked the 7th to 8th connection best for him. But the clearing crappy gifts, that's kind of an eye-opening thing they say for him, because he's one of those people where if someone dumps in his space, it's like he feels like he can't get rid of it because he's just not bold in that way. So practicing that again helps get him used to that, getting rid of dumped energy. So he did well. How did your mom do? Okay. They say this is a very triggering time for her. Very triggering time of year. Like probably the most triggering time of year for her. Other than like an anniversary at some point that she has during the year. But this is like the top 2 most triggering times of year for her. So, but the healing helped. The blue soak for her mind, probably the most helpful. So yeah. So I hope that helps. Someone says clearing STEBs made a big difference last 2 days. Oh, good job. Yeah. Yeah, doing clearing STEBs on your own in between healings is can be a big deal. Good job. Banana peel, slippery road to distraction is also great. Yeah. Yeah. Banana peel blocks. Yeah. We'll use both more often. Thank you for healing. Sure. Camera is good. Camera is good. Was my camera not good in this live stream at some point? I thought it was only my sound that was being dramatic, but who knows? Maybe both. Someone says, I feel like I'm having a hard time connecting with people on a casual and deeper level. Is it related to me being here in Michigan? Should I just not be concerned while I'm here? Or is it turtle exercise? And clearing the baggage energy too. Well, I mean, your angels say that you're just more aware of when people around you are less present. And when you're more aware that people are less present, you're like, okay, this communication isn't really working well. And that's true, but it's just that you're more aware of sort of gaps in, mutually authentic communicating than you used to be. So you're just more noticing things because your angels are just pointing out that a lot of people are less present this time of year. So like in the last 2 months, really, even 3 months, people start getting less and less present as the winter holidays approach. They get more and more triggered. Their families get more and more in their space. So they don't really think it's something you have to worry about. Yeah, they sort of write it up as a non-issue. They're just saying that you're just more aware right now and there's nothing to fix. So I hope that makes sense. They're too, as far as deeper connection, you can journal because a lot of the deeper connection that you need is just an inner reflection type thing that you would create by journaling with yourself. They say that, I mean, it's not instantaneous, but the more deeper connection you have with yourself, it's easier, and you kind of journal or whatever to have these reflective times when you're awake, that you're more likely to manifest situations like that with others where that level, maybe not quite that level, but some level of depth is achieved through the communication with others. That just waiting and not doing any of that on your own is not going to manifest it with others. So I hope that makes sense. But they say either way, what you really need is more just with yourself, like journaling and just, not just kind of let it go. Don't they say it's not really a problem to be fixed. So hope that makes sense. They say, people get more present in January, usually, like mid-January. They sort of thaw out from the winter holiday, super triggering, yada yada. People meaning mainstream people, like most of society in the US. Someone says, thank you, you're welcome. Someone says, hi, Janet, thanks for the help. You've explained about white and gold light. Is there any times when rainbow light may be good to use instead? What about clear light? Can you ask your angels to give you a class about anything you like being present in your chakras or making more money? Thanks. Yes. Angel classes. Yeah. I mean, I guess your angels could veto it. It's like, it's like there's like, an infinite university and the classes are free, but the angels give the classes. So if they think you need a certain class in order to appreciate a different class, like say if there's abundance classes, there might be a 101 class that you need first before you get the 301 class, there's might be 101 and 201. So, like try to just, think of the underlying thing that you need to improve and then be like, angels, sign me up for whatever I'm qualified for to take right now in my sleep, on this topic. Yes, definitely. That's fine. That is possible. So yes, so abundance, making money, being present, yeah, all sorts of things. I mean, your angels figure out which class it is. Just tell them that you want to improve and, in this, and this, and then they'll figure out the classes for you and you can take them in your sleep. So I've explained about white and gold light. Yes. So for people that don't know, I always use gold light to heal. People talk about like, oh, go into the light or the white light or something. But in heaven, as far as I know, angels do use both gold and white to heal. If you are in heaven, like, your life is over, you're in heaven. They use both white and gold. But when you're in a lifetime, as far as I can hear from the angels, white is too fast moving, too high a vibration, not high as in better, but literally just fast moving, too fast moving to use if you're in a lifetime. It's a bit like 17 coffees. So it won't make you more present. It'll just kind of tune you out. So I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who wears a lot of white and runs a lot of white energy. I mean, it's sort of like they're floating on a magic carpet, like way above their body, And some people, that's how they choose to live their life. But I don't think that helps you to be energetically safe as possible because you're not present, so you can't protect your body enough. And I think it really diminishes your ability to enjoy on deeper levels your, taste and experiences and all that good stuff. So anyway, so gold when you're alive is the thing. As far as rainbow colors, I had mentioned, rarely I mentioned, but brown earth energy is something that is more likely to be enjoyed by people having a male lifetime. It's a slower moving vibration than say red. It's like silver and white, gold, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, red, orange, yellow, so the rainbow, and then brown, and then black. So black is too slow moving for anybody. So a lot of times you'll see energy blocks that are black. Brown, male body, people having a male lifetime, they might like a brown earth energy soak, especially, you know, if you're a guy and you have some really intense woman trying to micromanage you, you know, doing like a brown earth energy soak and just leaving it up might be a really nice way to get women out of your space. But if you're in a female body, a brown earth energy soak might feel depressing. It's a slower moving, very slow moving. But as far as rainbow colors, there's different earth energy rainbow colors, you know, like I, you know, use a purple up here, use a purple here if you want it like an earth energy soak for just your 7th chakra or just your creative rings. Or, but as far as like using all rainbow colors at once, like say if you could get your hand chakras to generate all rainbow colors at once, don't think you can do that. I'm not able to do that. I pretty much have to pick one color with it at a time. But if you wanted to experiment and see, oh, do my kidneys like, you know, red healing energy right now, or do they like, you know, green healing energy right now? I mean, you could try stuff like that. But I think mostly body stuff likes red. And so, but if you want to experiment, you know, you could. I've never had angels be like, yeah, you need to use this or that. You know, like not red earth energy, use, you know, green earth energy or whatever. I haven't heard stuff like that from the angels. So, but I mean, you can experiment with it. As long as it's your energy or it's universal healing energy at a certain color, maybe it's not so bad. I mean, the lower chakras, I do know that the lower chakras, 3, 2, and 1, like if you were to set those at the higher vibrations, like green, blue, purple, it could be overly triggering for those chakras. And, you know, then you're overly triggered and less present. So clear earth energy, I don't think that's a thing. Or clear energy, I don't think that's a thing. It's like energy has color. I think, you know, sometimes I do see invasive beings as clear, but you know, they look kind of like jellyfish or like a breast implant, saline implant, like, you know, clear like that. But as far as energy that you generate, I don't think it's possible to generate clear energy. So whenever I've seen clear energy, it's like an invasive being. So it's not something I would want to be motivated to replicate, you know. So hope that helps. So that's that. Someone says, ooh, thank you. That's super helpful. I have not been consistent on journaling for months. Yeah. Yeah, I go in and out of it too. But you know, sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't, you know, so it's good to use your intuition. But yeah, a lot of times, you know, the deeper thought stuff, you know, maybe it's a journaling moment. Like sometimes people try to raise a lot of deeper issues with me, and it's like I can kind of tell that they need to journal, you know. Like, I mean, sometimes I want to know if it's in the survey and, you know, it's relevant to something that you're experiencing because you just got a healing. But, you know, sometimes I can definitely tell, like, yeah, that person wants to ponder things, but they're not giving themselves that opportunity in a journaling setting. I think sometimes people, they don't feel that they, you know, like they're afraid their husband's going to read their journal or something. In which case, you know, I guess you could write in code, you know, like don't make direct mentions to certain topics, but like write about it with code words or something. Or you can write about it in some way and then delete it or shred it or something, or maybe just think about it, give yourself time to think about it without writing. But sometimes writing is it kind of helps ground things. So anyway, food for thought. Okie doke. So let's see. Any pet stuff? Oh, I did. Yeah, we'll do quick pet stuff to wrap it up. Okay, so quick pet stories. So I do have a different Orson photo. Lorenzo didn't like the Orson photo that I kept using, so I have a different one. So he gave me this one of Orson. That's the outdoor cat that is now. This is when he was in our house for 2 weeks. When we thought he could be our pet. But it turns out he was owned by this guy up the street, but thankfully now he's spending more time there and not huddled up outside against our house. So that's good news. But anyway, so this is just a new photo about him, but I don't really have much news that I mean, I did announce 3 days ago in that healing that the good news is that he is spending apparently a lot of time now at his owner's house when he didn't used to. So that'll be better for him in the long run, much better, because he has health issues and his owner should be observing that and monitoring it. So that's good. So that's Orson. An update is I did get a. I'm nervous. I don't want to turn on my phone because I have had sound problems. So I don't want to. Maybe I'll turn it on. Okay. But anyway, I got a new web trail cams, and I did set one up late last night when I should have been going to bed. Because it was cold out, and I thought, well, because I thought the light of the old trail cam was spooking cats away from using the cat house that we do have out there. Well, one of the 2 cat houses we have out there, actually. But I don't think anyone used it. But at least there was no blinky light scaring them away last night. I know that for a fact because I swapped out the old cam with a new cam that does not have a weird blinky light. But anyway, let's see. Any other pet news? I have not yet heard back from the place to see if I'm going to get a refund for the deluxe house that they haven't built me yet that I don't need because Orson now is not outside our house. So we'll see if I get a big fat refund from that. That would be exciting. I think they took all of Christmas week off, so they haven't seen my email yet. But anyway, let's see what else. That's it. Well, actually, Izzy, our dog, he has a vet appointment on Wednesday this week, so that's exciting, sort of. So I hope that that goes well. It should go well. Yeah, see, this is pretty boring. All you see is a bunch of straw. You don't see anything exciting. See, it's just a bunch of straw in there. That's night vision, but it's kind of crappy night vision. I wonder why the night vision is so crappy on this camera. But anyway, so that's the inside. It's just a bunch of straw on the bottom of the cat house. So since there's no cat in there, all you see is straw. But anyway, okay, you guys, you're amazing. This is most likely my last live stream of the year, certainly my last group healing of the year. So I want to say Happy New Year, you guys. And we'll end with an Izzy cam. He's making trouble somewhere. He's eating paper because Felix, our kitten, has all this paper on the floor because it's really fun for him to play with it. But then Izzy, our dog, likes to eat it because he's jealous. He wants to eat all of Felix's toys, not just the paper. All right, so we'll show Izzy. We'll let Izzy get the last word in for the year. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I have to get this camera to stop turning upside down. It's driving me up a wall. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta get it to stop turning upside down. It's driving me insane. Image adjustments. What is HDR? Autofocus. Okay. We're going to get rid of autofocus. Maybe that keeps it from turning itself upside down. All right. So that's Izzy. No, I turned it upside down. Oh, stop. Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Fine. I'm not going to resist. Yeah, really. See, this is a resistance creation here. This is right here. I'm a living demonstration of what resistance does. Okay, fine. Whatever. So I can't show any pets. Fine. Fine. I know what I'll do. I'll pick up Felix. At least we'll have a kitten moment to wrap up. Let's see. We'll expand the camera and we'll bring in Felix to end the year with some cuteness. All right. Here's our boy Felix. So Felix is wishing you a happy new year. And just remember you have angels and growth is incremental. You little fucker. All right, you guys. You're the best. See you later. Let's see. Where are my butterflies? Butterfly. My butterfly. Here we go. All right, cool. Yay, Happy New Year. You're amazing. See you in 2026.